Well, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Iyori Polari. We have an old friend of the house in the house today, Kayode Esuola, research professor. Well, it's a very long field because research professor of political behavior in the Institute of African and Diaspora Studies. Kayode, great to have you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, as usual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The society, Nigerian society, we've been at peace for a while. No trouble within. We have our usual stresses. We sort them out. And then you university folk, Academic Staff Union of Universities have decided as of, I think it was yesterday, 1 minute past, you have gone on strike according to your president, national president, Professor Chris Piwuna. So I don't know why that is happening. It's so frustrating. We're just managing. You university people, you know more than we know. So instead of to leave us, JJ, don't increase their suffering or we'll be managing, you know. You people said no. Okay, but let me tell the whole story. We have a package that's unbiased. Okay, let's listen to this package together. It's here.
Tensions is rising as ASUU accuses the government of breaking promises and failing to implement the Yayale Ahmed-led agreement.
No work, no pay. Come to think about it, are even the professors being paid? You are paying a professor about $350 in 30 days? And when you send the same professor out there on a technical aid, you pay him $2,000. While serving his fatherland, developing our youths, our manpower, you pay him about $350 in 30 days. Can you really beat your chest and say you are paying that professor?
The ASUU leader highlighted issues of unpaid arrears, withheld salaries, and unremitted deductions, calling the policy unfair and counterproductive.
The issue of renegotiation of 2009 has not been done. The issue of paying promotion arrears have not been done. The issue of paying the 25%, 35% salary award 1 year is still there. The issue of the third-party deduction is still there. So which of them have they really handled?
Students, on their part, urgent resolution to the lingering crisis.
I'm not okay with the strike. As a student, it elongates the years I need to spend in school.
Our honest opinion is if the government can't look out for the youth, then I don't know why they're on the seat.
While the federal government insists it has met most of the union's demands, ASUU maintains that real progress will only come when the 2009 agreement is signed and implemented. Mariam Mohammed, TVC News, Abuja.
Okay, so there we have it. You know, professionally put together a report. That gentleman who was itemizing the areas of contention, conclusion and signing of renegotiated 2009 federal government ASUU, agreement, that has not been done. I don't know if you mentioned, but one of the issues is payment of withheld 3.5 months salaries, and sustainable funding and revitalization of public universities. Okay, everybody can relate to that one. They are not asking too much for themselves. But the whole structure upon which education is based, can we do that sustainably? We understand that. Now, the end of victimization and, of certain lecturers, especially at LASU, KSU, and FUTO, etc. Now, the thing I wanted to, first of all, get out of the way is, within the academic community, there's something called CONUA. We didn't know, not many people knew about that. CONUA, C-O-N-U-A, is Congress of University Academics. The national president there is Dr. Nii Sumonu. Now, he says, let it be noted, we are not on strike. We are not going on strike. And everybody, including government, should note that we are not going on strike. Mainly because there is no need for the strike. Maybe that's where we should start from. Luckily, both of you, nobody can cheat the other. The academics here, the academics there. So it's not a matter of, I know it better. So what's going on here? Where even the academics themselves seem to be in a disagreement that we can't, this warning strike, which is 2 weeks, by the way, after that 2 weeks, you say you now throw away the key, metaphorically speaking. So what's going on? Especially with the CONUA saying no.
Can you, did you say CONUAS or something?
Yes, it is Congress of University Academics.
Okay, I hear that name faintly once in a blue moon,
I think it's
I really don't know what it is.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm not here to speak on behalf of CONUAS.
Okay.
I don't have the
National
capacity.
President is said to be Dr. Nii Sumonu.
I'm afraid. I mean,
You don't know.
You need to Google and search a lot of things before you understand what that is. I know in the university where I teach and do research, I don't know anything like that. But we're in a democracy.
So there's only one academic staff union,
that
as far as you are
is
aware.
known and recognized by academics themselves, and that is ASU.
Okay.
Yori, let me give a background to this. The role of the intellectual in the society is to think primarily, and then when you think, you put issues in proper perspectives within the society where you operate.
Okay.
ASU is a union of intellectuals, and it has structures, methods, and approaches of doing all things, including negotiating with government, including embarking on strike, which is, in most cases, the last resort, and including managing the strike. So every issue for which we are on strike in ASU is in the public domain. It is not Kayode Shola who will tell Nigerians. There have been press conferences. You just give us one now. So ASU is not a clandestine organization. ASU, as a body, represented by the president, Professor Piuna, has thrown open all, with no exception, issues that the body has, to grind as an axe with the federal government of Nigeria. So when I'm here today, I'm not going to repeat what the president has said. I'm not going to repeat what ASU has said. Matter of factly, I'm not here to speak for ASU. I am here to speak on 3 notes. 1, as an intellectual, whose role is to think and interrogate issues and put them in correct perspectives. 2, as a parent who has children in the Nigerian university and general educational system. The third one, as a Nigerian who is concerned with, as a patriotic Nigerian who is concerned with the development of this country. I am here speaking with you in these 3 capacities. Yomi, permit me to start from the first one.
Okay.
As an intellectual.
Okay.
Now, you see, you don't need the wisdom of Orunmila to know that he who gives to you what he cannot eat or consume is either treacherous or wicked or satanic. Any of the 3 can go. I attended university in Nigeria, and I had as my classmates children of commissioners, governors, ministers. We still interacted tomorrow. Please tell me any public officer today who is at the top echelon who sends their children to Nigerian university. I mean, you search the cows come home. That means the system has been poisoned. And I'm using that word poison deliberately. The Nigerian federal government has poisoned the university system. And this poisoning has come through dehumanization of the academics, of the intellectuals, through what I call weaponization of hunger against the intellectuals in the society. The piece that you played to us was saying a lecturer was earning around $350. I agree in Nigeria we don't spend dollars because this is not a dollar economy, but it is a dollarized economy. Mark you, it's not a dollar economy, it is a dollarized economy, meaning that 80% of what we do within the economy is based on the price of dollar. So if you look at that dollar in Naira, given the price of fuel, I mean, this is common sense. You know, I'm not here to talk the technicalities of the, common sense. Given the price of food, the price of a bag of rice, the price of fuel, and every other thing around you, even a driver cannot survive on that amount of money. And then you are talking about professors. I mean, you are talking about the best of the brains in the country. Those who train and are supposed to train your children, you have reduced them to that pathetic pulp. As an intellectual, I think it is not only wrong, and I make this as an assertion, it is treacherous, it is devilish, it is luciferous. The government needs to have conscience. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. As an academic, permit me to go to the next one. As a father whose children are in the Nigerian educational system and, the university particularly, I do not know any university in Nigeria as we speak today that can boast of attracting foreigners as intellectuals who will come to interact. And that is why I almost collapse into helpless giggles when people say universities are this and that. A university has an idea. It's a global village. A university is not meant for local circulation of knowledge. You should be able to go to UK, Canada, and I should be able to attract such people also coming to share knowledge, disseminate information, and interact within the same system. That is the meaning of a university, not a polytechnic, not a college of education. University. Tell me, as a member of that society, who are the people teaching my children today? Frustrated, hungry, dehumanized, hunger weaponized individuals who go around almost crying because they have been reduced to negative images of their former selves. How will my children come out to be good citizens tomorrow? Third, and the final part, so that you can reinterrogate your question. As a Nigerian, I know definitely that there are about 4 or 5 agents of socialization. The family is the first one. The school is the second one. The university is the third. I keep it at 4 before you get to the working level. Now, what is unique about the university is that it is a gap between membership of a family and membership of the administrating society, the political situation, the administration. That is where individuals are molded to become honest or fraudulent, to become reputable or wayward. No nation in the world can afford to treat a university the way the federal government is treating the university. And I'm not going to repeat the things. Go back to the president's, address and the press conference. You understand all the issues there. How do we run a nation where the place where we are supposed to recruit the best to manage our society is so much neglected that one wonders if there are thinkers as government of this country?
Well, thank you very much. That's a very comprehensive opening, and I thank you for that, Kayode. So
thank you.
People can understand the underlying,
they need to understand
the nitty-gritty of the matter. You said that the system here if not the government, has poisoned the university system.
I boldly say so.
And you took time to say that, and you say you are saying so advisedly, just in case. It's important that you don't mishear this, that the system here has poisoned the university system. Well, my first thinking would be, hasn't Kayode gone a bit overboard here? Because whereas we can understand that that's what military regimes do, but not civilian, political, they don't do that. So I was curious. I said, okay, luckily Kayode will explain it to me.
Your governance is not by uniform. It's not by nomenclature of the kind of dress you put on. It's by the values you add to the society or values upon which you operate the society.
Yeah, that's what you would have said to the military at the time when they were said to be hostile to academics, and it is not a Nigerian
unfortunately,
thing. They are known around the world.
This current situation of the university is not under the military. It's under what you call civilian government. And I agree they are civilians. Whether they are civil is another question.
So you don't want to go as far as democracy.
Civilian government.
Not democratic. Not a democratic government.
Well, I mean, that's another theoretical postulation that we'll continue to debate in the next 24 hours. But the fact is that I use the word poisoned deliberately, and there are evidences.
Because poison has an intentionality about it.
If you come to the Nigerian university system today,
yes,
you will weep.
Okay.
In 85% of the departments in the public universities, all the young intellectuals between the grade of assistant lecturer and senior lecturer have run away. What are they running from, if not from poisoning? When you look at your past and you look at your future, and then you cannot say boldly that in the next 5-10 years, this is where I'm going to be.
Okay.
There's a poison in that system. And the remaining top echelons, the associate professors and the professors who still manage to stay, are staying because they are probably no more biographically available for travel. Otherwise, they would have gone. So which government will sit somewhere and look at the university system run that way? Don't misunderstand me. If it had been reciprocal, as our students, our young brains are moving out, others are coming from other parts of the world.
Which we used to have.
We used to have
that about 40, 50
we will
years
say
ago.
this is mobility. We will say this is globalization. But you see, young intellectuals running away with malice aforethought, as if never will I go back to that God-forsaken country. And you are saying the system is not poisoned? Oh, so what's chasing them? What's stopping others from coming back to this part of the world?
All right.
The university system is poisoned.
Okay, no, it's Mr. George. Good morning, Mr. George. Thank you very much for calling in. Go ahead, please. Hello? Can you hear us? Mr. George calling from Ikeja. Can you hear us?
I can hear you clearly, but can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So good morning, Okiori, and good morning to Professor Ishola.
Yes.
Good morning.
Okiori, I recall that on several occasions, the professor before you has been on this program, and this matter of university education in Nigeria has been discussed extensively. What baffles me now is that the university lecturers do not seem to have found an alternative way of solving this problem other than strikes. As people that are most educated in the country, I had expected that after 25 years of strikes, and these strikes are not bringing the desired results, they should look for another method that can bring about the desired result. But they don't seem to be doing that. When this president, even before he came in, when he was campaigning, he vowed that he will not allow ASUU to continue with their strategy of strike. And to the best of my observation, he's been trying to make sure that doesn't happen. But when you look at the trend that brought about this current strike now, it looks like ASU hastily went into this strike thinking that it is the only strategy that the government can hear. This is not the type of government we used to have in the past. The man that spoke yesterday, the new president of ASU, was saying that the minister, they wrote to the minister, and the minister did not reply them within the time he gave. Civil service work is not like that now. And minister himself said they are working on something. Why don't you just exercise patience for the minister to come or meet with the minister one-on-one? They've not met one-on-one. And then the next thing you do, you just go on strike. This is the same strike that for 25 years or more has not brought a different result. I want to plead with the gentleman before you. If the way he looks is anything to go by, he's looking fresh. He's not suffering. We know that the university system in Nigeria needs to be upgraded. But, Uncle Yori, let Professor Isola tell me, in all the sectors in Nigeria's economy, which one is better than the university system? Everything in the system needs to be upgraded, needs to be improved upon. It's not peculiar to education alone. We know the situation. Many of us went through the university system. We know the shortfalls there. Let them be patient with this government that promised it will not allow ASU to strike. If they are doing these ones, it may it can compound the situation. You'll be annoying the person who says he wants to make things work. That's the way I'm saying it.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. George, for coming in. Well, of course, you heard him yourself, but the whole matter about these are intellectuals. He told us, but he didn't even need to tell us. We know that's what professors generally are. So how can you be doing the same thing and expect a different result? Seems to be the import of what he's saying. It has never worked, and now, let me just add my own, because the news reports say that as soon as it was known that this was in the offing, the authorities started running around. Dr. Tunji Alausa of Labor in Kiruka, of Education and in Kiruka, they unsuccessfully tried to convene a meeting. So maybe you can respond to what George is saying.
Yes, there. I will respond. I really want to thank George, especially on the compliment that I'm looking fresh. Sometimes you see the body, but you don't know what is in the engine. I shouldn't be looking fresh at all, given the kind of treatment that my country gives me as a professor in the university. But maybe somehow, maybe the glory of God, if you say, or something else. That's on the light note. On a very serious note, we agree that the Nigerian public is tired of strike. But I know, as an insider in ASU, that what ASU hates most is strike. People need to understand the psychology of the university system. The professor does not exist without a student in terms of teaching, in terms of community development, in terms of research. You must inevitably and compulsorily interrelate every minute. So anything at all that will get you to a level where you say, I down tool and to hell with my student, every intellectual wants to avoid it at all costs.
Okay.
At all costs. Strikes, therefore, have always been the last resort by ASU when ASU is pushed to the wall. Again, I keep telling you, I'm here today to let the Nigerian public know the real situation. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over in 2023, he made a promise. Maybe George did not quote very well. He said he will keep the university, our children in the university. 2 years after, committees upon committees upon committees have been set up by the government. Okay? And then at any point in time, ASUU and the government committee will agree on certain things. And then that agreement will be expected to be actionated, pardon that word, within a time frame that were also agreed. And then they keep issues open till ASUU writes again, threatening, and then another committee will be set up. That committee will come again and waste time, human resources, only to draft a report, and that report will not be respected. Another committee will be set up. And so we have a situation of committees without end, negotiations without end. Intellectuals are very busy people. We don't have such time to be sitting in meeting for 16 years, working out what you call negotiation. And after negotiation, somebody will come and rubbish it. Please, the details for every Nigerian are contained in ASUU's, press conference. Press, please help us disseminate this information. Let them know that if the minister can come out today and said he has addressed one,
But
just one,
I hear you.
out of the 9 issues, let him bring evidences.
All right. I've kept Mazi Okorafor. I didn't want to interrupt the professor, so I've kept Mazi Okorafor waiting for a while in Arochukwu, but please go ahead now. Thank you for holding on.
All right, thank you, sir. I'll be holding on. We thank God for today, but the issue is the ASUU strike is not good for us parents. It's not good for Nigerians. It's not good for any other person. But the question is this. The ASUU president, as of yesterday night on Sunday television, he was saying that what the minister said, Alausa said, is different from what ASUU did. That they were, so they didn't call them to come for any discussion. That we don't know who is saying the truth, who is like, whether it's ASUU president. Now the question now is this. If federal government wants us to move forward, they are here to that too, and the federal government should make sure that each state, there must be proper supervision of lecturers in all Nigerian universities, public, either state or federal. Because the lecturers are not being monitored. That is why you see them, to me, with my own investigation, that is why federal government are not happy with the action. Because you cannot come to Nigeria, you see a lecturer, you are working up to 5 different places, 4 different places, collecting allowance for people. Where their main primary assignment that you give the student there, you give the organization roaming about. You come to a lecturer, so the lecturer is not around, it's not your time. You become the student is writing a project. The lecturer will be maybe in Ibadan, and the school is in Lagos. The lecturer is in Ibadan, tell the student to come to Ibadan, bring students. Does it make sense? So if federal government wants to do the needful, each state, I repeat, let the lecturers be monitored properly 247, and the vice chancellors are not doing enough. The dean of studies are not doing enough. The HODs are not doing enough. They allow the lecturers to be floating, which is not healthy. I can't imagine a time a man was saying this morning. His old 5-year program is spending the 7th year. I mean the 7th year is spending now. He started exam on Monday, it's supposed to start exam on Monday, final exam, and they said, no, it's not. That's at Ibadan. They should grow. And now, this is the 7th year. Nobody knows when ASUU is coming back after 2 weeks, or whether they are not coming back. ASUU, sit down, federal government, sit down, whatever it is, let the federal government go and bring that money from this subsidy fund. Pay them, and make sure they monitor us. That's the real solution. Failure to do that. At the end of the day, they are not making this business for private universities. Because when people discover that federal universities are not pushing, you see parents pushing their children to private universities. At the end of the day, making the parents to spend themselves, to put their hands where they are not supposed to, but they want to pay the money of their children as students. The private universities are even sending the children outside Nigeria. Because education is the key. Education is one of the dividends of democracy, which must be given to everybody in this country. Good morning, sir. You have a basic day in Lagos.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mazi Okorafor.
Mazi is a regular.
He's quite a regular. And you heard his own angle to it.
Yeah.
The Renewed Hope Initiative RHI presents the RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for.
You see, Yuri, I'm focused on political behavior as part of my research.
I noticed because there's been a variation in your title. Now you're research professor of political behavior.
That's specialization. I mean, a political scientist is a political scientist, but I focus more on behavior of men and why they behave the way they behave. Well, women too, right? For the sake of the gender people. If you look at things behaviorally, I mean, Mazi Okoro is saying these lecturers run from pillar to post.
I beg your pardon. I think you're going to have to come back and start again because they want me to go on a break. And I don't want to interrupt you because I really want to listen to this myself.
All right.
So do please stay with us. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. My guest is Professor Kayode Esuola. He's a research professor of political behavior in the Institute of African and Diaspora Studies at the University of Lagos. And we're here talking this morning upon the occasion of the Academic Staff Union of Universities shunning the federal government. That's the way it's been put. Shunning the federal government, insisting on a strike over unresolved demands. That's where we started from. And where we got to was we just had a call from Mazi Okorafor, who was suggesting that, well, you see, he was saying something about professors and supervisory roles of. But you heard it all, and you wanted to come in on that.
Yuri, let me first.
Let me include, sir. Let me include Stephen, who has been holding on to the UK.
Okay.
Stephen in Manchester. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Yuri.
Thank you very much for calling in, Stephen.
Yes, I think what I've noticed within the...
Stephen, you just... carry on. Go ahead.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about the educational system in Nigeria is this. I think over the years, from the military, what they did was to bastardize the educational system. Right from the primary to the secondary, now is the university. And then the professor in the with you right there, I just nailed the whole thing on the head. How many of our politicians is having his children in Nigerian university? None of them. None.
Well, you don't know that for sure, but it's all right. I understand. I mean,
I know about 99% of them, they don't have their children in Nigerian university.
Okay.
99%.
All right.
You see, that is why they make sure they bastardize the whole thing and then encourage private universities. I think something has to be done about the whole thing.
All right, then. All right. Well, thank you very much, Stephen, because the way he said it is that this system, the way he's explained he has said it, it's encouraging the private universities. And I don't know if that was how I wanted it to come out, but it makes it sound as if the authorities or whoever are actually supporting private universities.
What Stephen is saying is the very delicate balance between stakeholders and vested interest.
Okay.
When you are in power and you are in position to decide for the public space, and you have a parallel organization at your own privacy,
yes,
you will not be able to come out objectively well. I didn't say that. Stephen said it. Yorubas will say, Afaparu. Many things, but later came out to hit the nail on the head. Behaviorally speaking, I was about going there before we had this interlude. When you see somebody running from one job to the other, that person is moving from pillar to post, trying to answer just one question. Survivor. survivor. If that person had been comfortable doing the job for which he is employed, will he be gallivanting around in search of survivor? No. I can mention sectors in this country where I know people who key in do that thing only. The intellectual is supposed to be a thinker. We have repeatedly said this. Who will be in a place, think deeply, write, produce knowledge to the society. And then when the society is in crisis, the society comes back to the knowledge you have produced for solving the problems. Now, the reverse is the case in Nigeria. I'm not justifying people who work in 2 or 3 places. I don't know one. I do know, Kayode Shola, do not know anyone, especially in the public university, who works in 2 or 3 places. This cannot be correct because the system is automated. There can never be 2 Kayode Shola on the payroll of the federal government. But you are talking about a situation in which a man is employed and is paid a salary that cannot buy, a bag of rice in a month. And this man now moved from pillar to post, doing car wash business, trying to sell pepper or become a DJ so that he can feed himself and the family. Are we supposed to be mocking them or to be pitying them?
Kadi, are you being hyperbolic? Because we're talking about the university lecturer.
Oh, God. That title sounds good.
Yeah.
But you need to know what our colleagues are going through. And that is why we are telling the Nigerian public. Again, I say, I'm here to appeal to the Nigerian public. It is like this is a war between the Nigerian people whose children school in Nigerian universities and those who have decided to mortgage the future of this country because they have alternatives elsewhere.
When Obasanjo was president, yes, he was military head of state as well, but when he was president, which is after he was military, I think this whole matter, who was the good professor who was heading up ASU at the time? That one was as militant as any intellectual would be, because he's inside, he's living it. And Obasanjo was saying that it doesn't matter how good they sound. To satisfy ASU's demands, requirements, it means the whole country should shut down and all our spends in various areas, please suspend all of that. And I'm paraphrasing Obasanjo here. Suspend all of that because we want to make ASU, the university teachers, happy. And he says that is not going to happen. It's not going to happen like that. We have to find some common ground to talk. And so that was the way he said it.
And Yori, what are the things university dons are saying will make them happy?
Well,
Mr. Government, you created universities. Vitalize them and equip them.
That's it.
Are you doing me a favor for that?
That is
for the university you own and you created.
And I think that's one that is referred to as sustainable funding and revitalization of public universities.
The federal government does not know. Again, we are coming back to behavioralism.
Oh, another gentleman has come in from the UK. Okay, Mr. Ade, good morning to you.
You have been holding me on for 10 minutes, Yori. It's taking too long.
10 minutes. Well, we're so sorry. My apologies. My personal apologies. I'm so sorry. Please go ahead now, Ade. I'm so sorry.
I want to appeal to our professor and our lecturers that they should call off this strike. And there are a lot of ways you can get the government to do your bidding. For example, during the time of President Jonathan, an investigative journalist went to police barrack in Ikeja when they were complaining of living. So they recorded all the police barrack, the living condition, and they showed it to us on TV. President Jonathan was traveling overseas. He had to divert his way to Lagos and physically went there to inspect. And immediately they applied the contract of it. So get an investigative journalist. All those structural defects, they don't have toilet, they live in bad hotels. Record most of the devices and show it on TV. You don't need to go on site. I can assure you the people will release money the next day because it will be an embarrassment to them. So that's what you do. Don't suffer the children because they will be traveling everywhere, going somewhere. They might have accidents during the holiday. So call them back. Go and record all those things. Get a journalist to do it for you. So that is the way you can thank the government. Don't strike. Strike doesn't work anymore. Please.
Okay.
I'm appealing to you. I know that you are not paid enough money as your salary or whatever. That's why some of you have run to UK. If you get to some university here, you think you are in Nigeria. All lecturers are there because they are earning good money. Basic lecturer in UK, they have from 30 to 50,000. Just the standard lecturer. Not to talk of go on Google and you see it there. Not to talk of professors like the gentleman there who will go on 90,000. So they are consistent in Nigeria. It's very comfortable for them to study. That's how to do things.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. But the way they say these things, and I'm not necessarily contradicting them, the way they're saying these things, I mean, you are here, Kayode. You could get a job anywhere. Quite often you're out of the country. You say, where are you off to? Say, there's a research project, I'm supervising, I'm working, I'm whatever. But you are here and you're not alone. So,
not alone.
So what's going on there?
You see, Yori, thank God for those who are exposed enough to understand what ASU is talking about. We'll look at that suggestion. I mean, I'm sure the national leadership will take one or two things from this and use it as an approach towards resolving the issues. But ASU has done all these things before. Needs assessment. Federal government was invited to come to the university to look for itself. By the way, Yori, if I rule a country and I have structures and institutions in places in terms of ministries, departments, and agencies, does anybody need to do video for me to know what is going on in my country? I mean, these are laughable things. I don't need such. That's why I have ministers and department heads and agencies heads.
So when Alausa tried to meet, when Alausa and then the labor minister, when they tried to meet, and it was reported that they just were not cooperating, they were not available.
Do not sound as if you are part of the conspiracy. Lecturers never shunned the minister. The minister shunned the lecturers. It is the reverse.
Was it that it started out like that, and now in a tit for tat?
It has always been like that. They will dismiss everything we agree at any point in time, as if go to hell and burn to ashes. Your services in this country are irrelevant. That is the treatment. But that is what we have. Okay, Yori, common sense question. Why is it that everybody is running away and nobody is coming here? I mean, you don't need the wisdom of Orunmila. People are living a system with malice aforethought. And no one in those places they are living to, including Benin Republic, including Cotonou, including all these small African countries. I tell you what the professor earns in Benin Republic is equivalent to 4.2 million naira. In Benin Republic.
Okay, we're running out of time, but we must take Professor Professor Odumegu, who is calling from South Africa. Good morning, Prof.
Good morning. Is this following?
Yes, Yori Folaren here. Good morning, Prof. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, sir. Yes, I want to make some comments concerning the current ASU strike.
Sure.
The problem in Nigerian education system is complex. Every year still I was in the system there as a student. I experienced this strike and no solution has been found. I think to address the concerns of ASU needs a comprehensive approach. Hello?
Yes, I can. We're listening. We can hear you.
Yeah, it needs a comprehensive approach. ASU wants the system to function very well. But the said ASU does not want the government to increase tuition professors in private universities are earning well because of the increased institution. They're getting more money. Federal universities are not getting more money because ASU is insisting that it's a public institution. Now, if we want to get salaries for the kind of salaries that we want, they compare themselves with universities in South Africa, Uganda, and Kenya. They must be willing and ready to be productive. The government should make the system more conducive for them to be productive. There are a lot of professors in the system in Nigeria that are not productive. 2, we must have a system where
keeping hope alive.
We are the drumbeats that refuse to be silent, even when the rhythm falters.
With a lot of this, he is agreeing. But please continue, Prof. Continue, Prof.
In South Africa, universities are very autonomous. Each university has its own salary structure. Even in the same university, a senior lecturer can be any more than a professor. It depends on your productivity. It's a situation where a professor in UNILAG and a professor in any of the rural universities want to be earning the same thing. It's not sustainable. It's not the right way to go.
Okay.
Secondly, the professors should be productive in terms of research. How many of them in Nigeria, since I was there, I spent 10 years, 13 years there. Once you become a professor, no publication again, no conferences again. And yet, you want to get the same salary that I'm getting in South Africa. It doesn't work.
Okay, Prof. Thank you very much. I know there's more. I really appreciate your call because you are smack dab in the middle of the constituency. What would you?
Yori, you used the word agreement. I don't know when you became a soothsayer.
Agreement? You mean earlier?
Agreeing with him, I say, you know.
Oh no! There were things. There were things he was saying, and you were
very
nodding.
Critical points.
You were nodding.
Noted. Very critical points.
Oh, the nodding was just. I note that point.
I note that point.
And not that you were agreeing.
And I think, again, as I emphasize, I'm not here to speak on behalf of our union. I'm speaking on those 3 grounds. As a parent, as an intellectual, and as a Nigerian. And I think our union, if any of them, in terms of leadership, is watching this program, we note those issues. But I think there are several misunderstandings against ASU.
Wow, and we don't have the time to
including all
hear
these.
them.
They don't want you to introduce tuition. Is it the business of ASU to introduce tuition in universities that government funded?
So that's a misunderstanding.
It is
when you come on like that.
Yeah, and then the second one is government, from its own narrative, is crying that it cannot fund all the universities. But every month, the government creates new universities. How do you say that you have too many children in your house and you cannot feed them? Then you keep marrying more wives and raising more children.
These are political.
Commonsensically, it's like what fella called perambulation. We're just perambulating.
Well, as I said, thank you very much, Kayode.
Thank you.
Dr. Kayode, well, sorry. Why am I saying doctor? That is 10 years ago.
It's all right. It's all right.
Professor,
every professor
research professor for that matter.
Yeah.
Research professor Kayode Esuola, research professor of political behavior. We didn't get time to talk about that, but one day we'll sit down here and you will tell us about it. Thank you very much visiting us from the Institute of African and Diaspora Studies at the University of Lagos.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Appreciate your coming in. All right then. So that's our program. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Iyori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.